Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bachelor official YouTube channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribers button and give this video a thumbs up. A sweet elderly person is presently at Salem College Medical Clinic. However, he has no clue about what his identity is. Notwithstanding, Doug Williams and Julie Williams are both charmed with him and attempt to go through a rundown of more established individuals they might be aware. None of those individuals sound familiar to this elderly person, however essentially they can partake in a tune and a dance. The triplet plays out a totally brilliant version of Tea for two that will be a return for such countless fans. Steve Johnson is likewise captivated by this secret man and concludes John Dark and Marlena Evanscan assisting with figuring out what his identity is. John and Marlena are pleased to meet the man and immediately like him. Marlena is the specialist he might require right now in his disarray, while John is the analyst who can join Steve on this new and sweet mission. Marlena seems to be the person that everyone, including Ava Vitali, needs right now. Understand TLS, figure out what occurs next on Days of Our Lives. Ava was certain she was getting better at Bayview, however at that point, she began having dreams of Susan Banks and is certain she is flipping out once more. Marlena consents to assist Ava in any capacity she with canning. Will Marlena sort out her old buddy Susan is alive and let Ava know that she isn't seeing things? Or on the other hand, will she at long last be the individual who takes Ava back to her detects? Harris Michaels, Steve Burton, has attempted, however he has his own arrangement of issues to manage. When Theresa Donovan knocks on Brady Black's door, it shocks him. She is back in Salem for Victor Kiriakis' memorial service, however has a couple of different shocks coming up for Brady. Does she achieve news take dark that Brady needs to hear, or is her very own life in a ruins as it frequently is by all accounts? Theresa might be exactly what Brady needs right now, as Brady is in a very vulnerable position. Peacock lets you watch new Days of Our Lives episodes every weekday at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It seems like we're in the eye of the tempest here between Victor's passing and his burial service 1 week from now, as even Philip's return went down far smoother than we anticipated. However, something's going on with Gwen, Leo and Dimitri are going to detonate, Sarah's prepared to explode, and Dick Van Dyke's appearance vows to hit far more profound than we would have at any point thought, so we may simply need to partake in this breather while it endures. So, 2 major admissions wrecked by pregnancy torments. That is so Salem. The thing that matters is, while I think Sloane was at first more expectation on admitting, I have an inclination her mystery will wind up coming out when she least needs it. And keeping in mind that Sarah was more hesitant, I believe she will wind up telling Xander everything. Except if EJ really talks him into that awful kill Ava conspire. Be that as it may, definitely, Xander's developed since she's gone, even in his response to Chloe concealing Philip in their home. Also, that is getting Sarah's attention to an ever-increasing extent. 2. I can figure out how to cherish him is a reliable approach into a weak marriage, so we should just place a stake in this Rex sentiment sooner as opposed to later. I'm not saying Chloe and Beauty's show some sympathy perspectives are off track, yet is Brady truly off base in his resentment? Like, okay, Philip was having mental health issues, but as he said, Bayview is for serving time and getting help, not for Philip. Storyline-wise, better believe it, there's very little point in rebuffing him, since that would put him in a correctional facility someplace, and we previously got a drawn-out exit for Philip. However, in light of the fact that he got help doesn't mean he shouldn't go through the equity framework. In any case, Brady thinks getting along will assist him with getting Rachel back, yet I like her a lot more with the Dimorous, so could we place a pin in that arrangement? Paulina is doing exactly my thought process she'd do as the city chairman. She's coming in, setting some hard boundaries and ensuring everybody knows she's in control, and she'll get things going. In the event that they won't make her a business power player in Salem, I'm exceptionally content with this job for her. However, I'm still somewhat stressed over how this affects AB now. Perhaps he'll join John and Steve, and they can be dark fix Carver. Cut dark fix. Let's give that a little more thought, I dunno. Be that as it may, presently the Who'll Be the Following official show is as of now wrapped, with the norm returned. Also, here I was preferring this light-hearted rife. I was truly pulling for Jada. Somewhere else in the SPD, I feel like Sean's absolute bottom ought to have hit me harder. Examining self-hurt, or, as he did, self-destruction, is agonizing, troublesome, and serious. Yet, since the show's extended this story out up to this point, and not given Brandon Beamer the space to genuinely extend his legs, I believe it's falling compliment than it ought to. I noted last week how quick Sean was being tossed towards absolute bottom, yet it wasn't quick a direct result of the time it took, all things considered, yet in how little we got on screen. Seeing him take out that weapon hurt, and I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that it's contacted somewhere down in certain individuals who've battled. However, this ought to morally affect me. In any case, it persuaded me to back off on my disturbance with his sulking, so it made some difference, I assume. However, I don't think this is the end. We thought he was improving previously then. At that point, Victor drove him to the edge. It won't take a lot to shake Sean once more, and with how stressed Beauty is over him getting back to the power, I'm certain there's something else to come. What's with Gwen now that they're back from the non-special first night? Her mentality's moved, and out of nowhere, I get the inclination that she realizes much more than she's been letting out. Is it possible that she muddled through on the plane? Were there just such a large number of fortuitous events? Has she understood what's going on from the beginning, and she's simply becoming weary of acting ignorant and irritated with how moronic Dimitri and Leo think she is? I don't know what's happening, yet I truly like this change. Obviously, the finish of this story is near. Stefan and Gabby have figured out what's going on, and even though Leo's drag turn was sweeter than I think we expected, especially when he realized that he and Dimitri loved each other, this can't continue. Yet, they're attempting to make this seem like Dimitri and Leo are the casualties constrained into an incomprehensible circumstance to be with one another. That might have worked for this story, assuming they'd acquired Gwen all along, guaranteed her a player in the legacy, and enthusiastically assisted her closest companion with being with a man he cherished despite old-fashioned requests. All things considered, Leo and Dimitri's affection feels childish, and I truly wish it didn't. On the other hand, I suppose it is characteristic of those two. It's sort of interesting how Dick Van Dyke came in, and my response was goodness, he fits in fine and dandy. I don't know if he needs to attack everyone he sees, but it's a much more gentle approach than Alex's. From reality, the cop he was hitting on is his genuine spouse. However, we as a whole know he will end up being John's dad, correct? He is in Salem to look for his long-lost son, and the conversation with Marlena about her husband, also known as John, who, as we know, has also lost memory of who he was, sealed the deal. Furthermore, truth be told, some unacceptable episode toward the start of the week, warned us to how dark Fix examination launches. I'm conflicted of this. From one viewpoint, if it's not too much trouble, quit changing John's origin story. On different, does anybody really like that yodeling stuff? No. All right, great, we should give him a superior father. It would simply be great if John would have a greater bind to Salem some way or another. Except for the fact that John's new father is actually very famous. There isn't much point in it, because everyone is aware that Van Dyke won't be around long, but still superior to Yo Ling. Asterisk, who realized Stefan was great with kids. Additionally, who realized Rachel could be so relentless at 20 inquiries. Asterisk, whether or not they support LGBTQ plus solidarity, no lawyer would risk his entire career and livelihood over this. Much obliged to you for not making him succumb to Leah's exhibition. That would have been excessively ludicrous in any event, for quite a long time of our lives. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and don't miss any updates.